What if the biggest play of All-American has nothing to do with football? Through the first 3 episodes of Season 8, everyone has been focused on KJ's performance on the field, the pressure coming from coaches, and the expectations surrounding his future. But I think the real story is happening off the field. I think Amina's return is about to change everything for KJ. And if this theory is right, KJ's life may never look the same again by the end of the season. Because the more you look at their scenes together, the more it feels like the writers are setting up something much bigger than a simple reunion. Let's break it down. The pressure is already breaking KJ. From the season premiere, KJ has looked like a player carrying the weight of an entire program on his shoulders. He's expected to lead. He's expected to win. He's expected to be the future. And every episode has shown that pressure building. What stands out is that KJ rarely talks about it openly. Instead, we see it in the way he reacts to mistakes, the way he pushes himself in practice, and the way he seems to be carrying a constant level of tension. That's important because characters in All-American usually reach a breaking point when they feel they have to handle everything alone.
Spencer did.
Jordan did. Olivia did. Now KJ may be heading down the same path. Amina arrives at the perfect time. This is why Amina's return feels so significant. On the surface, she comes back as an old friend reconnecting with people she already knows. But the show immediately tells us something is different. She's quieter, more guarded,
More careful about what she says.
and most importantly, KJ reacts to her differently than everyone else does. There are several moments where it feels like they're sharing information that the rest of the group doesn't fully understand. That's not accidental writing. The show wants viewers to ask why. The secret between them. Here's my theory. Amina knows something about KJ that nobody else knows yet. It may not be a scandal. It may not even be something criminal or dangerous. But it could be something deeply personal, something that explains why KJ has been acting so differently this season. Think about how often Amina watches him instead of speaking. She seems less interested in what KJ is doing and more interested in whether he's okay. That's the behavior of someone who already understands the problem. And if that's true, then Amina isn't entering KJ's life as a distraction. She's entering it as the one person who might actually understand what he's going through. Why this could change everything. For most of Season 8 so far, KJ has been defined by football. Every conversation about him eventually returns to his future as an athlete. But Amina represents something different. She represents a life beyond football. Someone who sees KJ as a person first and a player second. And that can be dangerous in its own way. Because once a character starts imagining a future outside the path everyone planned for him, his priorities begin to change. What if KJ starts questioning whether football is really what he wants? What if Amina is the first person to give him permission to ask that question? The Jordan connection. There's another clue hiding in Jordan's storyline. Jordan is learning that leadership means balancing football with real life. He's discovering that success on the field doesn't automatically solve personal problems. KJ is watching that happen. He sees Jordan trying to be a husband, a mentor, and a leader all at once. That may be teaching KJ an important lesson. Football cannot be your entire identity forever. Amina's return arrives at exactly the moment KJ is beginning to learn that lesson. Again, that timing feels deliberate. Could Amina be in trouble? Now here's where the theory gets more interesting. What if Amina didn't return because she wanted to? What if she returned because she needed help? Episodes 1 to 3 repeatedly hint that she's hiding something. The question is whether she's protecting herself, protecting someone else, or protecting KJ. If Amina is carrying a serious problem, KJ may eventually be forced to choose between doing what's safest for his future and doing what's right for someone he cares about. That would create exactly the kind of emotional conflict All-American loves to explore. The risk for KJ. And here's the part that makes me think this storyline is headed somewhere big. KJ has spent years building toward opportunities that could change his life. Scholarships, recruiting attention, a future beyond Beverly. One bad decision could threaten all of that. If Amina becomes involved in a situation that draws KJ in, he may find himself risking everything he's worked for. Not because he's reckless, because he cares. That's often how the most important choices happen in this show. A different kind of love story. I'm not even convinced this is primarily a romance storyline. It could become one. But I think the writers are aiming for something deeper. Amina may become the person who forces KJ to confront who he really is when football is stripped away. Does he know how to live without expectations? Does he know how to make decisions for himself instead of for everyone else? Does he know what kind of man he wants to become? Those are much bigger questions than who is he dating? The bigger theory. So here's my full prediction. By the middle of season 8, Amina and KJ's secret will come out. When it does, it will create tension with friends, family, and possibly even the football program itself. KJ will be forced to choose between protecting the future everyone expects him to have and protecting the person who truly understands him. And that choice will change the direction of his life. Not because Amina ruins his future, because she helps him decide what future he actually wants. Final thoughts. That's why I think Amina's return is the most important storyline of the season. While everyone is watching the scoreboard, the writers are quietly building a character story that could redefine KJ's entire journey. He may start season 8 chasing a football dream, but he could end it chasing something much more personal. And if that happens, Amina won't just be a supporting character. She'll be the person who changed everything.
So what do you think?
Is Amina hiding a secret that will affect KJ's future, or is she simply the one person who can help him survive the pressure he's already carrying? Let me know your theory in the comments, because I have a feeling these two are heading toward a moment that will define the rest of season 8.